So we've started multiplication in third grade, and we're starting with repeated addition, and we're transferring repeated addition into multiplication because multiplication is a shortcut for addition. 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. In second grade in California anyway, students were expected to be able to count up by fives, 5, 10, 15, 20. So when adding, this is a really easy problem. Now when you're showing 4 groups with 5 in each group, then you essentially have 5 4 times. And that's what I'm telling my class, is that you have 5 4 times. Now, how many times you count 5 really matters, because when you're asked to draw a diagram where you have 5 cubes 4 times, you essentially have 4 groups with 5 in each group. Now the book is going to say 4 groups of 5. And whether or not the book tells you to put the 4 first or the 5 first, that I wouldn't worry about. Instead, I would focus on the fact that you are counting 5 4 times. Now, this is where it gets tricky. This is where students sometimes get lost. When you say 5 times 4, what does that mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything different than counting 5s 4 times. That word times starts to get used loosely, freely. So now we're starting to to write it down quickly, we say 5, we put an X to mean times, and 4. So this says 5 times 4, which is the same as 5 4 times. 5, 10, 15, 20. 5, 10, 15, 20. Now, this is where the textbook and I don't agree completely, and there's a lot of teachers that see it both ways, the textbook and what I'm about to tell you. But please notice that that same groups of 5, 4 groups of 5, can be seen as 5 groups of 4. And if you count by 4s, and you count 5 groups of them, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, you get the same answer. Now, whether you say that this group is 5 times 4 or 4 times 5, ultimately, students are going to learn that it is the same, and it won't matter unless you have a word problem that says you have 4 groups with 5 in each group. Then you're probably going to want to make sure that you show that you know that there are 4 groups and 5 in each group. Now that's more of a reading lesson than a math lesson. So make sure that you are separating those two concepts. Now, 4 5 times is 4 times 5. Now where it gets tricky is now you are not only counting how many times a number occurs, but then you start to see how, depending on how you group objects, you can see it 2 different ways. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, you say 2, you count 2 10 times, well 2 10 times, if you count up 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, you're going to get 20. So 2 times 10 is 20. And this is how it's written with an X. 2x 10, 2 times 10 is 20. And this is new for 3rd grade. Some students are entering 3rd grade with this knowledge. Some are learning it for the first time, and that's okay. Now, that same grouping of dots can be grouped by 10s and 2 groups of 10. And if you count 10 and 10, you're going to get 20 again. But this is 10 2 times, which is 20. So we say 10 times 2 is 20. And we write it as 10 with a little x, that means times, 2 is 20. Now here, students will be asked to show all of the different ways that you can get 20. by adding different groups with different numbers in each group. So if you have 4 groups with 5 in each group, you're going to have 20. 4 groups with 5 in each group. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. If you have 5 groups with 4 in each group, you count 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. If you have 10 groups with 2 in each group, you count 2 10 times. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. And if you have 2 groups with 10 in each group, you count 10 twice. 10, 20. And that is how we're introducing multiplication and its connection to repeated addition.